Ciudad Juarez is pretty big, I think. I mean, it's pretty big compared to other cities I've lived in. There's 5 stakes, and each one is pretty different with, I don't know, how wealthy the people are who live there. The sisters mainly stay in the wealthier areas because they're the safer areas. And so I was in really rich places. But where I was, there would be gated communities with guards at them, and you had to have an appointment to get in. You weren't allowed to contact inside of them. But they were usually really nice people if you could get to them. And they were great. There's buses that's how you get around between areas if you're doing exchanges. That's how you get to the mission office. That's in some areas they're big enough that you have to take a bus to proselyte, and they call it La Ruta, which is not normal in any other place that speaks Spanish. So you just have to get used to that. The buses, I think they're old American school buses that got taken over there, and they've been painted, and they decorate them, and they play really loud Mexican music, and it's fun. And there's a random assortment of seats that are lined up this way and lined up against the side. And if you go on a Sunday morning, everyone is on their way to Mass, and you're on the way to church, and everyone will fit. No matter how tight it is, everyone will fit on a bus, so you can have some fun experiences there. So most people, no matter where you're from, if you get called to Ciudad Juarez, you'll have some people who've heard of it, and they react, and, oh no, you're gonna die, or no, it's super dangerous, or I had a lot of people say, they send sisters there? Or they send American sisters there, and people thought it was really a sketchy place. And if you Google it, that's what you're going to find, articles from about 2010 that are talking about all of the cartel violence, and there was a serial killer, and there was all sorts of horrible things. When you go now, like obviously like any big city, there's crime, but that happens wherever you go. There's a big city. It's about the same as any other one. There are much more dangerous places in Mexico now than that place. Mostly what I would find is people who had a lot of scars from experiences with all the violence during that time. But I personally was never robbed. I never saw a gunfight. I know other people have, but I don't think it's that different than any other Central or South American mission. I think it's actually even maybe safer. But I always felt safe. I can't remember a time when I felt unsafe. So that's a big concern, and just keep that in mind, that if you're obedient, you're going to be fine. The city actually itself is kind of a big melting pot of people from all over Mexico. A lot of people go there to get jobs in factories because there are a lot of factories in that city. And people will come because the consulate there is a big one, and it's where you can get a visa to come to the United States. So there's a lot of reasons that bring people from all parts of Mexico there. And there's not really that many touristy places. Like downtown Juarez, it's called El Centro. I mean, there's some cool shops and some cool things you can get, and there's a big JRZ that you can stand by and take a picture that stands for Juarez. The other tourist attraction is the X, La X. It's this big red X that's right up against the border. You can, apparently if you pay, you can go up inside of it. I never did, but it was in one of my areas. And you can see it from all of the surrounding areas nearby. And some people go there. But mostly, I don't know, we'd find fun things to do together on preparation day, or we'd be too busy preparing to go tour around. One of the perks of having people from all of the parts of Mexico living there is that when you eat with the members, you have members from everywhere, and you get such a variety of Mexican food because there's different food in different states that's more popular. And it's fun. You get to taste all sorts of delicious things. And you can go to restaurants that the owners are from different states in Mexico, and you get a good variety of food.